Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another exciting Roundtable episode, the show where we dive into the ups, the downs, and everything in between of being a Webtoon creator. So, today we're just going to get down and dirty right into the details of the Webtoon 2025 contest, Webcomic Legends. Of course, I am your host, Apollo, and we're taking you kind of behind the scenes of the struggles, the triumphs of being a Webtoon creator and taking part in this epic competition. This year's stakes were extremely high. I'm sure everybody felt the pressure. And of course, the competition was kind of insane. It was a little diabolical, in my opinion. Like some of those series, I don't know what's going on with that. Like they were amazing. So, whether you're a seasoned creator or you're a fresh face in the Webtoon world, you're about to hear firsthand experiences of what it truly means to enter the Webcomic Legends contest. So let's go ahead and jump into some introductions. And of course, as always, please remember that everyone who is here is stating their own opinions. And so, of course, that means that experiences are going to vary. So take everything with a grain of salt. So why don't we go ahead and introduce our first host? Take it away for us, TJ.
Okay. Hi, I'm TJ. I make Codename Colors. It's a supernatural thriller on Webtoon Canvas. And then my socials for Instagram and TikTok are at tj.is.here.
Yes, and if you have not read his series, I don't know what you're doing. Like, please go read it immediately. Links are down in the description. Like, I was gagged the whole time. So, thank you for creating the
Thanks.
awesomeness, TJ. Next, Lucian, why don't you go ahead?
Hello, everybody. I'm Lucian, creator of Magic Codex. I enjoy fantasy, world building, and creating magic system, even if they are the bane of my existence. uh, so that's practically everything I would like to say.
Also, check out his
I,
series. Like, I love me some high fantasy concepts, and if you are a
oh
lover
yeah,
of D&D type stuff, then this is the series for you. Like, do it. Stop what you're doing. Don't stop what you're doing. Stay here. But after the stream, go ahead and check it out. And so, last, we have the amazing Haru. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hello. Well, I'm Haru. I'm creating the webtoon The Princess's Knights. It's a historical romance with a medieval inspired style situation. Yeah, and I hope you like it. And I'm super excited to talk to everyone here.
Yes. So I'm sorry if I'm fangirling a little bit because like we got to read your story live, Haru, and
Right.
I'm just amazed at everything. Like I love the storybook vibes. Like well I just go check it out. Like that's all I could say. I could not hype up these creators more than I have because like I am such fans of all of them. So if I geek out a little bit, that's what's going on. So to just give you guys some context for this, this is kind of like a little bit of a behind the scenes of their process. So you're really going to be diving deep into their brains essentially. And so we're going to go ahead and start with, contests, participation and the motivation behind entering the contest. So why don't we have Haru start us off? So what inspired you to enter the Webtoon 2025 contest? And after deciding to enter, what was your initial goals when you decided to move forward?
Okay, so I read webtoons casually, so I wasn't a creator necessarily before. I participated in the short story contest earlier, and then when this contest came up, it obviously called everyone's attention, I think, because of the prize pool mainly. So I was like, oh, wouldn't that be fun? And the thing is that I had already the story written out, so I had the script done, and that's why like I don't know if I would have participated with something new, but I thought this is the chance to like make the story happen and come to life. So my main goal still is to just complete the story that I wrote, which is relatively short. You know, we're getting there. Um, and yeah, I mean, winning, everyone dreams of it, right? But I'm definitely, like you said, very intimidated by all the competition. And I think there's a lot of deserving people. So right now, the goal is completing the story.
No, don't be intimidated. It's so good. I promise. It's so unique too, like the styling. So what about the rest of you? What inspired you guys to enter?
Lucian, do you want to go?
Why don't you start, TJ?
Okay. So honestly, my biggest motivation was like FOMO, because I really wanted to enter the call to action contest from a few years ago, and I planned something for it, but I like ended up just being lazy and didn't make anything. So when this one rolled around, I just really wanted to like prove that I could do it, I guess. So yeah.
Oh, I appreciate the honesty. Like
Yeah.
I also plan to enter that. We don't talk about what happened then, but I did not succeed. So yeah. I felt that. Like I felt like this contest was my year to enter. I was like, I'm entering no matter what. Like I don't care
Yeah,
what happens.
exactly.
Like if I only post one episode, then I can claim the title, right? Right? We did three, so I reached the goal. And so Lucian, what about you?
Well, I didn't have an idea, but I was thinking of making a webtoon out of the blue. And I think this contest was like the perfect excuse to set things in motion somehow. I had that idea and never worked on a webtoon before, not in a scrolling format, but more like a manga style, manga format. So I was like starting a project that ends up as a product, and making something that people can actually read was like my first motivation. As Haru said, the prize money was high, so but I didn't went really into the contest to win the prize, but just to make something, have a product that I never made before.
Yes. And so I mean, just based off of that, I feel like we all succeeded in making that goal. Like we all can pat
Mm,
ourselves on the back. And so when you
yeah.
really start to think about like entering into the contest, like now it's time to kind of figure out like what's the strategy? What am I going to do
Mm.
to like really make my entry stand out for the contest? So what how did you do that? Um why don't you start us off, Lucian?
Okay, for standing out, I was more focused on color schemes and character design and personalities. That's why the first chapters introduce a lot of characters. Um, but the truth is that I love stories that happen in fantasy world with their own rules, magic, culture, aesthetics. And so I just went for it and say like, there's a lot of webtoons that are like isekai or uh, regressor type of things, and I wanted some fresh fantasy set
Mhm.
on a world that rules are from magic or from another place, similar to us but with another twist. And I always love that kind of stories. I normally find it on books, and I wanted to do something like that. Maybe if I was lucky, it would resonate with another people.
Mhm. Very nice. I can definitely see that, especially in your entry. Like, I love all of the characters and all of the
Thank you.
diversity and how, like, I find myself being attracted to that type of story as well. So, what about you guys? How was your strategies? The rest of you. Why don't you start, Haru?
Regarding my entry itself, honestly, nothing. Like I said, I just wanted to make this story, and I was like, I'm gonna make it. And it's not even a very webtoon style, so I was like, oh no. But I, the one strategic thing I wanted to do is social media engagement because that, the audience engagement part is there and the judging, right? So I was like, okay, this is my moment to learn how to use Instagram and posting and like finding a workflow of creating a lot of reels and without it being, stressful. So that was honestly kind of also like my social media learning experience moment. So that was my most strategic part of the creation.
Oh my god,
Same.
I cannot believe that like your story was not any sort of strategy behind it because it stands out
Yeah.
so much.
It's so self-indulgent, man.
Oh, I feel that.
Yeah.
I feel that. I love it though. I love it. It's like this was not intentional at all. So I'm a big fan of that. Like the creativity behind. Like I definitely thought you were gonna be like, oh yeah, I really wanted to make like a storybook in Webtoon format, and I thought
Oh.
that would make it stand out. I was like, oh no, that wasn't even the case.
And-
Yeah, it
Oh
looks
man,
like it was a tail.
it does.
oh,
Like
I'm
Like
glad.
you're reading a tale. Yes.
I feel like it's one of those like not to like keep harping on your series, but have you ever seen
Mm.
like those old like
Yes.
storybook like fairy tale things where like the book is
Hmm.
flipping open? Like that's how it made me feel when I was
Yeah.
reading it. I love it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. No, that's definitely all in the like inspiration, right? But I wouldn't say that using that aesthetic was a strategy. It
Hmm.
like yeah, it was. It just felt natural to the story.
Right, right. No, it makes sense, and it
Yeah.
definitely feels natural to the story.
Yeah, and it shows. Yeah.
All
Oh,
right,
I'm glad.
TJ, Mr. FOMO King over here. Like,
FOMO kick.
what was your
Well,
strategy?
so originally, like back when they announced the contest, I was gonna like make a brand new comic for it. But then like January rolled around and I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna have enough time for this. So I pivoted to just entering my comic that I've already been publishing. And so that comic, obviously has its own like journey along with it. And I've like looked at the originals that fall in the same genre to like figure out, what works with those ones and like what people receive well and try to like incorporate that into my series. So I guess like that was kind of like part of the original strategy to make it stand out, not even just in the contest, but just in general. Um, but also for the contest, entering in a comic that already has an established audience, a lot of people would say maybe would help your chances of winning. But we'll have to see about that.
Yeah, yeah, we'll see, we'll see. I'm rooting for all of you guys, to be honest. And I will say, I actually, so your entry, that was my first time reading Codename Colors in journal. I had heard it for forever. Like everybody always talks about Codename Colors whenever you think of like Canvas thriller series. And
Mhm.
so your contest entry, I was like, oh, I need to continue this. Like immediately after I read episode 3, I was like, okay, I guess I'm gonna have to read the OG Canvas version. So I will say I did notice that there was like some very different setting up in the beginning. So I thought that was really
Yeah,
interesting. Did you
yeah,
have like anything specific that you decided would make it? I don't want to say better, but let's say more appealing to webtoons.
yeah. Well, so actually, last year, because when Webtoon does like the creator summits, they do
Hmm.
the portfolio review sometimes. And
Hmm.
last year, I got to do one of those. So I actually was able to speak with an actual
Ooh,
Webtoon editor,
give us the
and they
tea.
gave me some feedback. And so when I was, kind of re-evaluating my first 3 episodes, I tried to incorporate some of that feedback in to make it more appealing to them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, okay. I want more details, but we'll move on to the next point.
Maybe in the next stream.
Yes, yes. So this ties into what we were talking about. Can you walk us through your creative process while you're preparing your entry?
Well, yeah, I mean that was kind of the creative process was like, just kind of
We we
seeing what
we need
I
more
feel could
details.
what.
Let
I'm
us
kidding. I'm
know.
kidding. Uh,
Enlighten us.
But yeah,
I'm
yeah, I mean that was basically it. Just
yeah.
trying to figure out what I feel would work better this time
Mhm,
around.
mhm, mhm. Very nice. And so what about you guys? How was your creative process? What were you thinking when you were kind of in that scripting storyboard phase?
I'm gonna go ahead
Hmm.
and
Mhm.
so I guess mostly what you guys mentioned, the like whole aesthetic thing, right? I was very like researching that and how like thinking how to do this ornamental style because my like one of the main inspirations is the like medieval illuminated manuscripts, right? If you've seen those like bibles with the funny drawings on the
Mhm.
sides, and
Yeah.
I was
Hmm.
like, oh, I could like substitute the webtoon frames for those frames, right? And then kind of add the storytelling to that, because those drawings, they traditionally illustrate a little bit of what is happening in the text, right? So I just thought it kind of would work, and then I was just studying that mostly, right, and doing style tests and everything to just start production out, uh, knowing what I have to do so everything could be done within the deadline.
Oh, that sounds very reasonable. Very mature way of approaching the
Yeah,
contest. I did not do that.
pretty mature. Yeah, me neither.
Okay. So what about you then? Tell us your process.
It was quite a ride, to be honest, because I started working on two ideas at the same time, and I didn't know. One of them was more like a fantasy, more thriller kind of thing, and the other one was Magic Codex. Um, but when I started working on the other idea I had, I found out that to be more complex or denser than the town Magic Codex, so I decided to go with something more simpler and colorful and better the colors that I imagine
Hmm.
for a comic. That's why I made backgrounds more bright and characters with certain color scheme. Uh, and I made some researches for cities and fantasy buildings based on actual cities and buildings like Venezia or some places in Buenos Aires, Colombia. And so, well, we can take that aesthetics and put it on fantasy type with some arcane punk style. And well, the magic system was the thing that took me the most time to do. Even if it doesn't show in the comic, I had to make everything to make sense and plan the plot hooks that I'm gonna make for the contest. And it was kind of hard to balance, but I had a world building for a TTRPG I had before for a D&D campaign.
Hmm.
So I took that and said, okay, let's put this into paper and try to work with it.
Yes. So that's it's really interesting to hear everybody's like approach is all so different. And once you kind of start getting the mojo going, of course you start to run into, challenges or obstacles. Maybe you're like, okay, this is too big of a story to take on. Like I think TJ mentioned that he was trying to do a brand new series, but then realized, oh, I can't do this. So what were some of y'all's biggest
Yeah.
challenges that you faced while you were participating in the contest?
I think overcoming perfectionism. You know that.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things I have, if I can go on,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go
is
ahead.
overcoming perfectionism and learn Clip Studio Paint from scratch. So you might know that
Oh my
too.
god, Greek, we're in
Yeah,
the
well,
same boat. Like we are living
so,
the same life.
yeah, exactly. Then I say like, okay, I know that with Clip Studio you can make things easier, but I'm gonna do what I know to do, what I do actually, and did the same as I always do. Used some shortcuts, but learning the whole program wasn't really easy at first.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
I could use some tools that uh, made my life a little bit easier. Um,
I'm not going to
and
lie, I hated every moment of it. Like
yo,
it
I
was
just
so complicated and it stressed me out every time I opened it.
yo, I remember that you can do that square things that you can go off there from the lines. You can square. You can plan the squares, and all drawing is inside that square. I did not use that. I used like default square drawing, and that's it.
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
So it was a little bit complicated, but yeah,
I love Clip Studio, you guys. It's such
I
a
love
good
it. I love.
software.
Listen,
I love
listen.
it, but it was hard for me to change on the fly and
I'm
say. And when I used it, I knew why it's so good. But well, I'm still working on learning the features that make things easier for me.
I'm just gonna say, Haru, we don't accept Clip Studio apologies in this house, but
What?
yeah, but I'm not gonna deny with you the program has merit and it did make some things easier.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
as
I'm a
somebody who
fangirl.
is like, I am so technology challenged. Like you guys do not understand. Like when I would click, I could not remember. Like I had stuff, assets from other files. I couldn't remember how to insert a photo one time. I sat for like an hour. I was like, what button is it? So yeah, that was my biggest challenge. That stupid program. We're
Yeah.
on we're on okay terms now. But Haru, tell us what was your challenge? What was going on with you?
So since I had decided to do the social media thing, it was honestly balancing the production of the episodes and the marketing of the episodes.
Mm,
Um, so because I'm also working, right, like we all talked about before, so it's
Yeah.
balancing always that little time we have left, right? Um, yeah, it was honestly mostly that and getting done on time.
oh yeah, getting done on time also a big struggle.
Yeah, always.
Deadlines.
I'm not a fan. Not a fan.
No, me neither.
Like like we were talking earlier. Like go back to the barter system and add no
Yeah.
deadline.
Let's forget.
Yeah.
That's all.
So TJ, what about you? What was some of your challenges?
Um, well, I think because like I'm very critical of my own work, so when I go back and I'm like rereading it and trying to decide what to change, sometimes I can like get a bit crazy, and like I'm like, oh well, I like want to like majorly change this or completely remove that, and so I think it was kind of a challenge to like pull the reins in and be like, okay, like don't go too crazy, because like I have 18 episodes of my comic published already. So like in the event that like I don't make it to the next round or whatever, I would still want to be able to like continue the storyline that I already have going. So I didn't want to make any like too big changes, to where the story wouldn't make sense anymore.
I can see that. Like, as someone who falls into a hole of perfectionism, like, I think my biggest challenge was like, since I was coming from nothing with this entry, like, I did not have this idea beforehand. It was all from scratch. So, I was in the scripting phase up until March, and one of my friends had to tell me, like, you cannot script anymore. Like, you're done with this. You must start drawing now. I needed it though because literally I was working up until like 6:59 submission night and then they extended the deadline, but we don't talk about that. So next
I remember
question.
that. It's
did
another
you
cycle.
did you experience any unexpected hurdles during your production of your webtoons? So like something that just like randomly showed up that you were not expecting at all. And how did you overcome that?
I mean, honestly, no. like, like everything was pretty smooth sailing for me.
Mm.
I know that there was like a lot of other people who they had like that whole fiasco with their episodes getting deleted randomly. But yeah, I just like submitted my episodes and that was it really.
You called it a day. Oh, okay. What about you guys? So TJ had no problems. He lived the ideal contest life.
Sorry, guys.
No, to be honest, everything went pretty smooth for me too. I just had to I just had to investigate a little about the size and limitations you get from Canvas to upload. But I searched for a few videos beforehand, and everything was done. I finished the episodes, uploaded, and that's it.
Oh my good grief. I feel like I'm on an island by myself. Haru, save me. Help, what was your experience?
Yeah, guys, like I was not ready for how Webtoons compresses the images.
Mm.
So
Oh
I
yeah,
was
it's
like,
really bad.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
so
like
bad.
I was just slicing them, but then it wasn't like enough, and then the software would compress anyway, and I was like, what? Why does it look so bad? And what do I do? And I struggled a bit with that because I found out while I was doing the upload, so I was like right there panicking, like, how do I make this look better? And my second episode, like I'm a bit ashamed because the colors of it are completely off from the original, but like nobody knows.
Mm,
But I was like, what? That looks awful, but I just had to upload it. So that was like my main struggle. And I think nowadays I found a way to make the compression okay. Like I still hate it, but it's fine now.
yeah.
That upload process like almost had me in tears. I am not a crier, but like I was having like a breakdown. I was like, why is this not working? What are you doing to me? And then like Clip Studio would not like import it in. Like it just kept being like, nope. I just had the worst experience. Like everything I was doing was failing. It was just the general struggle of like
Mm.
being Apollo, to be honest. Because when am I not struggling? So obviously, with everything going on, I do think it's good to consider like time management because it's a contest with a deadline. So like, how did you guys manage to keep everything on target when you were trying to enter your series and still keep it super high quality?
Um, okay, so I tried to start as early as possible, right? I think I'm not sure now if I started February or March. But I was like, I gotta get this done fast because I know that the deadline is gonna be a struggle. And so I made strategic choices actually regarding the style a little bit. So it's like this style. If you look at my other work on Instagram, it's not this style is new for me as well. So it's a lot more simplified. Clothes and faces and hair. Everything is very like silhouette based and doesn't have a lot of detail. I try to keep the colors extremely simple. Like there's no shading. Every character has one theme color, right? So a
Hmm.
bit of that, so that production itself would not be too time costly. And then I also just in my daily routine prioritize the comic always when I could, right? So I would draw on it before work and before everything else in the day. I would be like, this is the absolutely first thing I do for like 2 hours, 1 hours, whatever I could get in, and then the rest of the day happens and everything's fine.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Like I couldn't wake up early in the morning to save my life. I'm late to work every day. Like I could not wake up to do this contest entry. Oh man, that's really
Oh
cool
no,
though.
but I'm in it like I'm working from home, so it's very like I'm not waking up like at 5 or
Mm,
anything. I can't do that
oh
either.
okay, yeah,
It's
yeah.
very
Oh,
chill setup.
Yeah.
okay, okay, got it, got it, got it. I was
Yeah, that
like,
makes a
oh,
difference.
I would have to wake up at like 4:30. Like, there's no way.
No, no, yeah, I wouldn't do that either.
Nah, me
I
Relax.
got you. I
neither.
got you.
Nah, not gonna happen.
So what about you, Lucian?
Well, I I had to sacrifice a lot of quality for time management. So I also went for a simpler kind of style, even though there's panel that I rendered a little bit more than others. And since I never really draw backgrounds before, I just went and say, okay, let's try to make simple shots with a few backgrounds. But I lost a lot of time on planning the idea. That's what the main problem I had. But after that, I just say, okay, let's do it simple, like how to say it, simplifying more the silhouette, the shapes, and things, and try to get things done within a time limit. So I made a chapter, an episode every week and a half, probably, and say, well, this is what I got to do to get into the deadline with time. But then I went and I did another episode that wasn't meant to be done and said, okay, I need to explain a little bit more about the story and went and do that. But yeah, I sacrificed a little bit of quality over time for reaching the line.
Yeah, I think that's a really realistic approach. Like, obviously, and especially I think coming from like, we were talking earlier about a little bit of perfectionism, a little bit
Yeah.
of like taking on a big project. Like, you realize like that deadline is just coming in too fast. So I think that's a very reasonable approach. And so TJ, what about you? How did you manage your time?
Well, so it actually took me like longer than I thought it would, because I'm not creating my entry from like scratch. I'm just kind of like
Mhm.
going up and touching up the art. But even that, I was like, oh my god, this is taking me too much time. So yeah, there were some, because I wanted to get it as done as soon as possible, because I just wanted to get it over with.
Mhm.
But so there were some days where like my days off work where I just kind of grinded for like 10 hours to try to get it done as quickly as possible. But yeah,
Oh my god, the 10-hour grind is insane. Like I
Yeah.
don't think I could do anything for 10 hours. I admire the passion though, like no doubt. So I guess this kind of leads into like, since we were talking about time management and
Mm.
everything, like now you're getting into the thick of everything, so you're having to make those creative decisions where it's like, do I leave this in, do I cut this, like what do I do? So and TJ, with you, I guess it would be nice to hear like what you decided maybe to update, like maybe how you decided to go about like fixing or adjusting or improving certain things. So how did you decide on like improving your concept of your story or your characters for the entry?
well, so I know that because Webtoon released like the kind of like outline of what they were like specifically like looking for in all of like the scoring categories, and I remember like theming being like a big one that they would consider in scoring the story. And going back and reading my first three episodes, I didn't really think that the themes were very like strong or apparent. So in the contest version, I changed this to make the themes hopefully a bit more like there. um,
Hmm. Hmm.
but and also I wanted to like, because I also feel that the first three episodes I was very like subtle with a lot of like the mystery and stuff, and I actually kind of made things less subtle in the contest version to make people a little bit more interested.
Hmm. Hmm.
But yeah, it's just kind of things like that. And then also there was a scene in the first episode where it's like the like ghost or whatever and like the pillar of fire, and I added that in because in the original version I was like, oh, like, because it replaced the like water, there was like these water guys who like popped up, and I'm like, well, that doesn't really like have any like weight at all on the story, so I wanted to put something in that was a bit more important and
I,
relevant
te-
to the
I tell you
character.
that opening scene had me like, what the heck is going on? Like
Yeah.
that little fire. I was like, what is happening? Don't follow it. Like, what are you doing? Uh, you had me stressed, TJ. Stressed.
Yeah, and
That's good.
everything
That's
ends
good.
before the party. And
I
everything
didn't.
ends before the party.
I didn't think she was gonna make it out of the first episode. I was like, oh,
No.
this is a good story.
She's not getting up.
Uh, so Haru, how did you decide on concept, story, and characters?
So I came up with the story before the contest, right? Like honestly, I think 2 years before. So, the inspiration was a trip that I took with my partner to a castle ruin, and I was like, "Oh, medieval stuff, cool." And what if I drew us as like princess and knight? So I sketched me and him as a princess and knight, and was like, "Oh, what if those were characters in a story?" And then I just kind of came up with the rest, which is why the princess has blue hair. um, and
Oh, that
Gotcha,
makes
and
gotcha.
sense.
yeah, so that was like the story itself, and then like I said, I decided like medieval, since medieval stuff was like the starting point to elaborate on the aesthetic. I use that as a main inspiration research point. So so it's medieval, so it feels like a fairy tale. So if it feels like a fairy tale, I should make it be like a storybook, and then also like the ornamental stuff to make it feel very princessy, and then also it's the pastel colors and kind of watercolory, because it's like hand drawn, because medieval stuff wouldn't be digital, like all that stuff.
Hmm.
that
Yeah.
came that was more like my concept thinking after creating the story, which was like way back.
Oh wow. Well, the execution was amazing. So
Yeah.
I cannot not preach how good I felt reading your series.
Oh,
So
thank you. Thank you.
no problem. And so what about you? How did you decide on your concept and story?
As I said before, I play a lot of TTRPG, especially D&D.
Mhm.
So I had a few world building ideas. I I had characters in mind. Obviously, I made changes to fit the whole different media, since you're now taking what you use for a tabletop game to a comic. So things are especially different. But I would say that it was fun. I wouldn't lie. It was a little bit stressful, but more the thinking of how to make sense in the initial hook of the story. But later I just focused on just an arc. I will start with a simple arc that explains a little bit what is the world going on, what is about the world, and then if things go well, I will just reboot everything and start anew. But I just wanted to make something more magical, more whimsy. So just took an idea I had before about just the world building, create a magic system for that, and say, well, how the characters we will work with that, and make a simple hook for initial part, and have the general idea. I also plan about the ending, but you just so you can put a little bit of things in the beginning that just in case that you make it longer or take that serious and continue. But overall, it was like that. I wanted magic and colorful vibe and different type of characters. So
Yeah, I love that. Like I love hearing everybody's different perspectives on how you went about like approaching like your concept. So that is very, very cool. So when you were crafting your stuff, were there any moments during the contest that you had to rethink like major plot or a character's design or a character's personality? As someone obsessed with character design, like I did not rethink any designs, but I regretted it the whole time.
um so I guess one like plot related thing that I had to rethink is just the chapters that I wanted to post within what frame. So I posted 4 instead of 3, which is the minimum, right? Because I thought that um, for this first phase, the story would get more interesting and like high point at the 4th chapter. So I just had to make the decision to pull everything like to publish it earlier this chapter, right? Which is sad because now I have to make like 2 extra for the next phase if that happens, right? But so that was like a decision that happened kind of in between while I was analyzing my story arc and where it would stop in the first phase of the contest. And I'm not rethinking my character designs, but I realized that I probably should because a lot of people um initially thought that the main knight, which is on screen right now for my story,
mm,
that that they are a female character. And initially I had not necessarily intended that, but I kind of like it's open now, so they use he pronouns in the story, but it's totally fine if everyone who thought it was a female wants to keep thinking that it's valid and canon, and you guys can choose whatever they are. But I just realized that maybe my like male characters aren't as manly as I thought. So I might rethink that in the future, but also maybe not.
there was
No.
a unicorn character. I remember the unicorn knight was.
Ah, yeah.
He looks very manly, to be honest. He's like
Okay.
pointy.
I'm glad. Yeah, yeah, I'm glad. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's just like the hair or the headpiece. Like I think
yeah.
that like I think that's the only way because like the body type is definitely I think more masculine, but it is what it is.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I'm fine with everything. But it's just
yeah,
funny because the hair thing, like I said, the characters were based on me and my partner, and he at the time had super long, luscious
Yeah.
hair. So like, this is his hair, you know. But yeah. Anyway, they are whatever people want to be. Everything's fine.
Oh, awesome, awesome. I love to get a little bit of that behind the scenes from you. That's really cool. And so, TJ, with you, since you're coming from a series that you had on Canvas previously, um, from what I read, I don't think there was a lot of major changes, but I would love to hear your thoughts on how you went about this.
Well, so I will say that one of like the bigger things that I thought about was the ending of the last episode of episode 3. Because like in the version I already published, I didn't really like it. It didn't really like leave you on a really big hook, and so I knew that since this was going to be the last episode that people were going to read for the contest, that like the ending had to be a bit more enticing. So that's why I added like the little scene at the end with like Valerie and Taylor, and yeah, that was kind of like the biggest thing that I thought about, really.
Oh, nice, nice. And what about you, Lucian?
I had to adapt my script to different cliffhangers for each episodes earlier,
Mm-hmm.
because I have like points where I say, okay, this is good for a cliffhanger, but the the flow wasn't there. So I had to make, okay. So there's a chapter where Erida is fighting Lucine, two characters, and I wanted that to be on the same episode that the main character escapes from a fight. But I had to cut it and say, okay, I used this as a cliffhanger and use the other chapter like the introduction of a mystery, some kind of mystery, a deal with another character that didn't do much before, and so I had to reorganize somehow the places that I was going to put my cliffhangers, and I remade the script like 3 times for that. So it was kind of annoying and intense, to be honest. But I got the flow, so I'm fine with that. And I guess that was also part of the learning curve. So yeah,
Yeah, I think there was a lot of intensity put on those cliffhangers. I mean,
yeah,
Webtoon is known for them, so I can definitely see how a lot of people really wanted to, you know, make sure the stories had like the right impact. So that I think everybody probably struggled with, is this a big enough hook or not?
yeah.
I can definitely see that. And so it makes me think about like when we're considering editing or processing or changing the story to a different outcome, like you think about like the feedback aspects that you want or
Mhm.
you've gotten from people. And so I really want to know, like, feedback was a really big part of my crafting. What kind of feedback did you guys receive during the contest, and how did it impact your creative process?
Oh,
um.
is Tisha gone?
Oh. Oh, I think he might have. Um.
Oh,
Uh.
sorry. What happened?
I think TJ is
Tisha
not in the
is
call
gone.
anymore.
Yeah.
Oh. He could have gotten kicked out.
Oh.
We'll
Oh,
maybe he'll pop back on here in a minute.
yeah.
Um,
Okay. I'll just go ahead then.
Go on,
yeah,
Haru.
you can go
um.
ahead.
Cool. So I get honestly though my answer is just what I just said. So the biggest feedback I got was everyone calling the main knight a female, and me noticing that
Oh,
um my character design wasn't very clear apparently. But like I said, like, how did it impact the creative process? I just decided to make this canon, and that's it now. um
So was there anything during like your let so I know you said you were crafting this like 2 years ago. Was there anything
Uh-huh.
that made you like feedback that you got back then before like before they were illustrations?
Oh, no. I no, I just wrote the story and I showed it like to my partner cuz he's also always the first person to read stuff. And
As he
then
should. Supportive partners, stand up.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. But other than that, no, I just went for it.
Oh, nice, nice, nice. Welcome back, TJ. We
Welcome
were
back.
worried
Yeah,
about you.
hi.
Yeah, my internet died, so
Yeah, yeah. Whenever technical difficulties happen to other people on stream,
Yeah.
it just makes me feel so good. I'm sorry. As someone who always
Yeah.
struggles with them, I'm just like, see y'all, it's not just me. I promise. Oh,
Everything's going smooth
'cause
for Apollo,
I just
no?
moved to a new house. So like,
oh,
Oh.
congratulations.
we got a new internet box, and so
Mm-mm-mm.
I think it should have been so.
So we were just talking about feedback during the contest and how it impacted the new
Okay.
version or the version of the series that you entered. And so, Lucian, why don't you tell us? Do you receive any feedback that helped you to make the story?
Yeah. Sí, sí. I got feedback from mostly from friends and were my partner. And it was like mostly grammar and typo, but they also gave me feedback about how the characters feel, the motive, and something I got from creators on Webtoons the moment I uploaded my episodes was that they were praising the backgrounds, and I was like. It's almost the first time in my weakest point on drawing. So thank you, but I thought characters will make more a spotlight and backgrounds, and I was like, I guess that's good somehow. But yeah, um, overall it was a really good feedback. But I had to work on some things, and now I'm a little bit more confident on doing backgrounds. So
Oh,
I
nice.
probably keep doing. It's important for world building if you portray some kind of different stuff, so of different cultures. So yeah, thank God it works my way.
It turned out really well. So I'm
So yeah,
sure all of the efforts that you put into really tackling that, learning that skill paid off
yeah.
for sure.
Thank you.
And so TJ, any feedback from you? Or you know what I mean.
Well, so I actually joined. I actually joined the Discord server that we're all in, specifically looking for feedback. And so yeah, I got like a lot of good stuff from there. That I then changed. It wasn't anything like super major because I was honestly expecting people to like tear me apart and be like, well, actually, you need to like change this, this, and this. But it was all good. So
Oh, good, good. Well, I don't know. I feel like the writing group I was in, we were ripping each other apart. So I got tons of good feedback
uh,
on like clarity and like this character doesn't make sense. So it was a good time on my end. Like I love the feedback process. Like it's so much fun. Um and so when we think about like the contest, obviously we have the ups and downs. Like maybe you get some negative feedback, maybe you get some positive feedback. Is there any particular moment that you can think of where you were like really proud of what you created?
Um, okay, I'll go first then. I'm mostly proud of everything I create. I mean, if it meets social media, if it's out there for people to see, it's because I'm proud of it. I sometimes start making a drawing, and an hour after that, I say I don't like this piece and start anew. Um, whenever I start and finish a piece, I'm mostly proud of it. But if we're talking specifically about the tournament, the contest, yes, there are a few panels that I'm really proud. Some like that. There's my favorite panels or from what I made and say, okay, that was a good job and a good presentation. So I'm really proud about it.
Oh, that's awesome. I love to
Yeah,
hear it. I think for me, it's kind of in a similar boat. Like the moment I hit publish, I was just like, I was so proud of myself.
yeah,
It was scorched then by the extension, but 2 weeks later, I was like, I'm really proud about that. So,
yeah.
what
You can
about?
always go back and see.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
So, what about you guys? Any proud moments for y'all?
So
I would agree with you. Oh,
no, go ahead, go ahead.
oh,
You just
you
came
can go
back.
ahead.
No, it's
Oh,
your moment.
oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Take it, DJ.
I was gonna agree with Apollo. Like really, just publishing it was like the most proud moment for me. I was like, I did it! Yay!
And what about you, Haru?
Yeah, like same. Just having like getting episodes done is like such an amazing feeling.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess like a highlight for me was my third episode because that one had like extra aesthetic panels and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, in general, just like keeping up and putting out more episodes is such a good feeling.
Yes. I will say too, I think another really proud moment I had, like I didn't do any of the coloring for my series. So like when I would get pages back from my colorist, I was just like, oh my God, like I love this. Like I had such good feelings the whole time. So like just good feelings all around for everything. And so in what ways has your experience in the Webtoon contest influenced your approach to creating webtoons going forward? TJ, what do you think?
What? Um, I am going. No matter who makes it in the short list, I'm going to be looking at reading all those series in the short list because something that's always confused me about Webtoon is like I just don't really know what they want. Like it's so confusing, like what they want. So I think just reading all those series and analyzing them and trying to figure out like why Webtoon chose those specific series. I think that's going to be like the biggest takeaway for me from this.
That will be really interesting. I have my predictions. So we'll see what comes to fruition. Um,
Oh, you're gonna talk about that for another video?
I don't know.
Save it for another video.
Like, do you have 2 hours for me to rant about this?
I don't know. That's true.
Oh man, yeah. I will say I do think like just a quick glimpse into my head. They like from a PR standpoint, they have to pick at least 2 series in every category below 500 followers. They have to pick series, at least one series with a diverse cast, and
Yeah.
then I think they have to pick at least one series that had a previous series, and then that way nobody can complain to them.
Yeah, because they cover all the. Yeah.
Yeah. They'll be like, "Oh no, we were fair about everything."
Yes.
Yeah. So that's my tenfold, my whatever it is, the thing you put on your head made of tin. That's my predictions. Oh, okay. So back on track.
Yeah.
What about you, Haru?
I think reading all the other entries really also just gave me a better feeling for webtoons in general. Because like I said, I read it more casually, but in the contest, you just naturally get to read more, and I just felt like any future webtoon that I make, I will try to take more advantage of the webtoon format. Like there's
Hmm.
some series they make so cool stuff with the scrolling
Mm-hmm.
situation, and I feel
Mm-hmm.
like I can explore that more. So yeah, mainly this.
And then what about you?
Yeah, no, I think that's the same about how what Caro said. It's like analyzing stories, and I'm new to Webtoon as well. Um, I just read one original series, and most of them were from Canvas, and especially from this contest. And even if I don't know who will be shortlisted, I found more like how can I put into words? It's more natural to see the stories on Canvas than originals. It's like original follows like a vibe or a style, a pre-made style, but people that were entering the contest had some fresh new ideas that felt like reading the story in another way. So I probably should do what TJ said, like analyzing the people that Webtoon will shortlist and learn about them. How is the workflow or the storytelling type, and probably trying to adapt to that or see what they want, or maybe keep doing what I do and just publishing as a webcomic from other side.
I can definitely see that. I think one of my
Yeah,
biggest takeaways from this was basically like I can do it sort of thing. Like I can actually produce something
yeah,
as a recovering perfectionist. Like I always feel like I choke when I get to the like publish part, and so I feel like the contest gave me like a lot of confidence for like creation making going forward.
yeah. Especially creating something that you enjoy doing, the way you enjoy doing.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And especially when you have like people to support you or people to amp you
Yeah.
up, like it really makes me think of like how big a part like community and networking played in the contest
Mm.
for a lot of us. So I want to hear from you guys, like during the contest, how did you connect with other creators or with the community, like a Webtoon community, or even um the Webtoon official Discord? How did that help you guys? If you did, why don't you start for us, Lucian?
Okay, I say a lot, and I cannot say this enough, but what's the best part of entering the contest? Indeed, meeting another creators, especially uh, entering the Discord server. Shout outs to Pollo um, for inviting
Yes,
me to the
shout out
contest
to
reading group.
Pollo.
Yo, Pollo. I met awesome authors there, but awesome people too. They're very supportive of each other. Now they're probably stressing about the shortlisting. But I think that getting closer to the community was one of the best things about this contest, if not the best thing about the contest. And I'm also grateful with you, Apollo. Of course, since I started watching your videos during the contest announcement, and it helped me a lot to get at this stage. So I was more. I didn't have art friends or made art friends in general. So getting into the community was really good, fun, and I love to support other artists, and they will do as well. So it's like a family. It's like a happy family, una familia feliz. So there we are.
Oh, that's awesome. I love
Yeah.
that. And of course the Discord is happy to have you as well. Like you are a ray of sunshine.
Oh, thank you. Yes, sorry, sunshine. Yeah.
So what about you, Haru?
Oh yeah, for me it also it like the contest made all the difference. Like I didn't have any contact to like webtoon creator community before, and then the contest made all those servers and people reached out to you, and then
Mm.
it's so sweet, like thank you also for inviting me, right? So yeah, I think the contest like is worth just for that, if you want, to get to know other
Mhm.
webtoon
Mhm.
creators. It's so much fun to like everyone is struggling together. Yeah, I really recommend it.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. And TJ, any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everybody about the Discord server. I met a lot of cool new people from there. But also, like, there's a few of my mutuals who, like, we've been mutuals for a pretty long time, and they also enter the contest. And so now, after all this, I feel like we're a bit closer now because we shared this experience.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I love to see it. I feel like people
Yeah.
underestimate like the power of, just having people to chat with about like what's going on in your life or what you're doing, and they can relate and easily understand you. So I feel like we should never underestimate that. And I love to hear that you all had like such positive experiences, and hopefully nobody was like isolated during the contest, because like obviously
Yeah.
working on a webtoon can be super isolating. So for future contests, make sure to like join a community, do what you can to find friends, and just have that like outlet. Sometimes it's nice to just come and chill, watch
Yeah.
people draw. So actually I'm going to ask this question, and then I'm going to run to the bathroom, but you guys can talk while I'm
Yeah.
gone. So did you find yourself collaborating or exchanging ideas with other contestants during the competition?
Um, so, like, creative ideas, no, not really. Because, like, I already really had all my stuff kind of set in stone. But like, I talked to people a lot about like the statistics side of everything. So there's that.
Um, yeah, same in the sense that I didn't like talk about story or any of the creative part itself because it was already in production and moving forward. But I like collaborated on like those sharing, uh, those extra posts where you share other creators and they share you, and it's like a group of
Mm.
people. So I did that. Um, and just talking in discords and Reddit, even just talking to people about general webtoon related stuff, which is always fun.
Yeah. In my case, was like I didn't really collaborate or exchange ideas during the progress of the comic and the competition, but once I uploaded everything and was kind of out of it and joined the server, there was a lot of things, a lot of authors that share some tips that help me understand and improve some aspect of a story for a future probably reboot or approach to it. Um, like Natural from Wandering Portraits, Toy Boat from Fatal Arts and Hannah Alexandra from Wings of Oil. They share a lot of tips that help me grow in different ways. So um, I think I couldn't really realize that kind of things if I didn't have that feedback before. So I'm glad. But during the competition, I was like just doing my thing. Like DJ say, I had things set on stone, and yeah, just publish it and carry on with my life.
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna add that it's funny that I followed like some artists and webtoons creators
Mm.
before, and only because of the contest that I discovered that they were Brazilians like me,
Oh
because
yeah,
they like created groups for like the Brazilian
I
creators. So I was like, what? You're from Brazil? That's such a funny experience.
I didn't met anyone from Argentina.
Really? What?
Not a single one. But I knew there was a lot of Brazilian authors. I something that caught my attention is how good some Brazilian and French authors were.
Oh,
It's
right, yeah,
like
yeah.
when I see their style, their art style, it's like, dude, what? This is what I wanted to do in my life. It's like that's why your art teacher is so attractive to me because I think I don't know if something from Latin America, but we have that handmade style that we love. But your entry was like, okay, that's not only colorful and good looking, but it also all the backgrounds are handmade. It has that cartoonish feeling mixed with anime that makes it great. So it instantly catch my eyes.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Yeah. I'm glad. I'm also glad how international the contest is, right? Like it's super, I guess, democratic in that sense that literally anyone can just decide to participate, and as long
yeah.
as as long as you can write in English, um, you can participate, and I love that. I've been meeting so many international creators. It's yeah, super fun.
Yes, that's crazy. Like, I was surprised by how many like non-US people entered. I was like, what is going on? So I guess it just shows you never, I guess, shoot your shot for whatever you can if you could do it. I was curious, Haru. What was going on Reddit? Like, I did not look at Reddit at all during the contest for real. So, was there anything happening? Like anything
Oh,
interesting?
Oh well, nothing huge. It's just there's an official Webtoons subreddit and like a non-official one, and people just keep posting like questions and struggles and memes, and I just think it's fun
Oh,
to
nice,
to
nice,
follow
nice.
those as well. It's very casual.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just didn't. I did not have time for Reddit. I barely had time
I know,
to
I get
ingest.
it.
So, what advice would you guys give to like people in the future? So, all of those crazy kids who enter the next $1 million webtoon contest, like what advice would you give to them?
Um, so I think the absolute key to staying motivated throughout so much drawing is to love your story. Like really, like not just like your story, like oh this is kind of cool, but really you need to be obsessed with your story because it's gonna get boring. You're gonna hate it at some point. You're gonna be insecure. All the bad stuff is gonna happen. But if you love your story, you're gonna keep it up anyway. So I really think like think about what you commit to because it's yeah, a webtoon is a long project, and I think you need to love it. But if you do, everything's gonna be fine.
Oh, that's awesome. What about you, TJ? Any advice?
Um, I would say like start the second that they announce the contest, because like even though you're like, oh, I have 6 months to do it, that's gonna creep up really fast, and so you want to really give yourself the whole allotted time to work on it. So
Yes, I will say the 6 months was low key diabolical, in my opinion, as someone coming from scratch who had nothing. I needed more time. Like, I probably needed like two
well,
more
yeah, I
months.
mean, well, and that's the thing is that 6 months is a really short period of time, in the sense of like making a comic. So you really need to use like every single second you can when your time is that short.
Yes, especially when you have like work
Mm.
or school or other IRL responsibilities. It's just like, dude, I can barely do this. Like y'all are asking too much from me. But I think I'm not gonna say reasonable, but I think it was fine since everybody did get to enter. So I'll cut them some slack. But I agree with you, TJ. Start immediately. Start drawing that night.
Yeah,
uh,
literally.
Get
uh,
everything ready beforehand.
all those crazy people that did two series, I don't know, like they're
Well,
not human.
well, you should ask Boyan. He think he made
Oh,
like three.
yeah, not human.
Not human.
So what about you, Lucian?
Well, as you may know, perfection is an illusion. Don't fall for it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I think that you must have a story idea ready or some bullet point at least. That will save you a lot of time. That's what I didn't have, so I spent like 1 month preparing everything. And I think don't worry too much about art quality or storytelling since you will learn along the way. So I think that taking the first steps is what matter the most. Then you will just get better on your way. And probably if you want to make a story that wins a contest, you can research things, you can try to catch the vibe, but at the end of the day, I it's like how to say something that you like is more important than anything, since you are not guaranteed to win a contest, even if you make a story for that. So unless you will have something that you love and maybe it resonates with other people.
Yeah, I think that was well expressed. Like that
Oh,
that
thank you.
kind of sums up everything. I think, anybody who's entering the contest should like really consider, because like when we think about it, like if you just start doing the math, like I'm one person, there's over like
Yeah,
3,500 entries. Like, what are the odds that I'm going to win? I think having like a very realistic approach to
yeah,
things is super important. Like, of course, everybody probably wants to win. Maybe some people don't. Maybe some people are just doing it for fun. But at the end of the day, like managing those expectations is super important, especially if it's your first series. Like,
yeah,
you're gonna have those growth pains. As someone who is like, yeah, that this is my first series, growth pains were evident. It was so much work. I just do not understand how you guys do it. Like people who have, especially originals, like that weekly deadline, I feel like would take me out.
yeah,
And so
exactly.
when you're thinking about the future, like going beyond the contest, I'm really curious about like how do you guys see your series moving forward? Like, of course, I think Haru, you mentioned that you were gonna keep doing it, but what would be the goal?
Well, for me, it's to finish the story, and then I really want to print it. That would be so fun.
Oh, that sounds
Even if
awesome.
just for myself. So,
Hmm.
so yeah, right now that's what I'm most looking forward to: finishing the story and reformatting it into a printable format.
Oh,
And yeah.
I would love a copy. Like,
yeah.
if you ship internationally, I need a copy. I will be prepared to gold leaf that bad boy if you don't,
Oh my god.
because
Yeah.
I feel like that would be so pretty. To see that in a physical form.
Oh, I'm glad to hear. I'll look into that. I'm gonna make some plans here.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
not, just send me the file and I'll print it myself, and I will ship them. I will
Cool.
handle.
Okay.
I will handle all your U.S. orders. Like I got
Um,
you on that side.
cool. Yeah. Thanks. We can set something up.
Yes, perfect,
Yeah, so
perfect.
that the aesthetics will be great on a book format, a physical format.
Right. I
I
really hope
agree.
so. I'm so curious.
Yeah.
Well, what about you, Lucian? What's your goals after the
Um,
contest?
well, I'm actually reviewing the series and plotline, so I think very similar to Haro. But I will start from zero. Try to portray the story a little different. Um, so probably I should prioritize about storytelling, character introductions, and dialogue. And I will focus a little more on learning Clip Studio Paint to make my life easier, probably. And yeah, I think that should be probably the way I will. Well, sorry, I was like
Yeah, yeah. Well,
the way I will take the route. Yes,
yeah, no, I get
my
you.
my, my
Like,
approach. Yeah.
I was gonna say, once you start those Clip Studio classes, please teach me
Yeah.
as well. Like,
I don't know if I could.
invite me to the chat so I can learn.
Dude, I should say that Clip Studio Paint and my brain was off. So I don't know if I can help you. But I will try. If I
Okay,
if I
okay,
learn some tricks, I will let you know.
okay. Please do, please do. Okay,
Yeah.
TJ, what about you? What's your goals after the contest?
Um, well, so I want to make a new comic, a brand new comic this time for real. And yeah, I
Mm.
think, like I said before, I'm gonna analyze the shortlist series to see kind of what I should maybe incorporate into a new comic.
Can we get a glimpse of the idea? Like, can we get the pitch?
Uh, well, it
You don't
is
have to. You don't have
supernatural.
to. You don't have to. But I'm staring
Well,
into your soul.
it's a BL.
It's a
Mhm.
It's a
BL.
BL with supernatural, paranormal things going on. Um, so
Mm.
yeah, I guess that's all I'll say for now.
Okay.
My girlfriend will love it then.
You have no idea how hard I was staring at the screen. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, and so when we think about the contest and everything
Mm.
that's happened, there's a lot of things to reflect on, and I feel like there's probably everybody probably experienced some form of growth. Do you think that the contests really contributed to helping creators to grow? What do you think, Lucian?
It worked for me since taking a challenge with a deadline, such as a contest, will push me to make something. Draw every day, plan out the story, and you can actually evolve when you put a lot of work on something like that. And yeah, from there you can only get better. So I think it's more like a motivation than other things. But um I also know that it can also demotivate other creators if they don't get picked by webtoons or if you don't get engagement, and that's also something you'll need to be aware of because it's part of getting into a contest. Maybe you got an expectation. We talked about that earlier, that you should be logical about what you're doing and especially be proud of the growth you're getting instead of what the results are. So I think yes, for me it works. I don't know if it works the same way for other creators, but I did. I'm sure better than before starting the contest. So I'm glad.
Yeah, I think that's an amazing perspective to have. Like,
Mm.
I love the positivity combined with the realism of it. So, again, well said. So
Yeah,
TJ,
thank
what
you.
about you? Any does it push creators?
um, yeah, I mean, I agreed with a lot of the stuff that Lucian just said. Where like, I mean, I think that just making the comic is an achievement in and of itself. And also, because I mean, like I think we're all making the comics because we're passionate about it. But I do also think that when you're entering into a contest, like you are doing that specifically because you might want something from like the publisher who's holding the contest. And so I think that this whole contest is going to be a learning experience for people on like what or any contest like this is going to tell people what these publishers are specifically looking for.
Yes, yes, yes. I do think it's important. I agree with you, and I think it's important to remember that Webtoons has its own agenda for holding the contest. Like they have their own motives, they have things that they're looking for. Like they're a business. They're trying to grow their platform, and so it's always important to remember, like, even if you don't get picked, that doesn't mean like the series is bad. Doesn't mean that it's
Hmm.
good. It just means that
Yeah,
it wasn't what Webtoons was looking for.
yeah,
And
exactly.
so Haru, what
Hmm.
about you? Are do you think it
Yeah,
pushed you or pushed creators?
and no, totally. I have a general habit of participating in contests because I like the push they create. Like having a price and a comparison between competitors necessarily means that you are going to, compare yourself and see, oh, how can I make my old stuff better? How can I be better, than the others? Contests bring that with them. It just
Mhm.
that's a mindset that contests create, and that's definitely great for growing. Like you are going to want to level up your art, and contests they give you a deadline, so you learn like how to draw for a deadline. You learn how to like you guys said, like there's guidelines that like this is for webtoons, so what do they
Yeah.
want? Another contest is like for other reasons, what do they want? And I think that will make you learn so much about, yeah, about the more practical and real part of art, instead of just like, oh, I'm
Mhm.
drawing this because it's fun. So Like not real, like I'm talking about the, I guess, more commercial side of art
Yeah,
and like
yeah. The
Yeah.
the
corporate
pragmatic
side.
side. Yeah, exactly. And I think that's super valuable. And also, like my past like illustrations that I made for contests are usually my best ones, just because of the extra effort you put in. So I
Hmm.
really recommend it for everyone, even if you think you won't win. Like, just participate, just try the challenge. It's really good.
Oh, I like that mentality. I need to enter more contests because I do think it does add a layer of I need to do my best for whatever I enter. So I like that. Maybe I'll look up some more contests that are going on and see what I can enter.
Yeah, yeah, it's cool. I recommend it.
Yeah, there are also contests with a theme, and you have to adapt to that. You have the theme now. You have to build idea about that, and
Yeah.
you probably find out yourself drawing romance or fantasy or thriller.
Yeah, exactly. I know Tapas has a contest going on right now,
Oh
and I think
yeah,
it has a theme. So maybe I'll look into it. I don't know. We'll see. I'm still recovering from this contest.
Yeah,
yeah.
valid.
We still doing it.
So let's just some concluding thoughts here. Um, how do you see so what message do you hope readers take away from your entry, and how do you see it influencing your webtoon career? What do you think, TJ?
So, I mean, yeah, I definitely think I see it influencing the future because, like, with before I entered the contest, I was always like, oh, like this is just like the one path I have with this comic. But after the contest, and I've been doing a lot of thinking. So like now I know that there's like multiple doors open before me and paths that I can go down. And so I think that that's cool that I don't really feel like I'm like in a box anymore.
Yeah, yeah. Like there's so many avenues. There's more than just webtoons as a publisher out there. Like there's so many routes that people can go
Yeah.
down. And so that's why I love having multiple perspectives on things, because sometimes you just don't know about something. And so I think like the
Hmm.
contests can really like this is just the beginning for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So Lucian, what do you think?
Well, when I read the question, I thought that there was like something from my entry, what I tried to say with my entry, but it applies also with the general idea of how will influence my webtoon career. So I think that the simple answer is that some risks are worth taking, but you can do things alone. So I said that before. Showing in a community helps a lot. Having mutuals, like say TJ said, also helps. You can share ideas with other artists and find yourself growing. So, and there's a lot of platforms too that you can try, go and publish. So, I think following the idea, I wish that I go do things the way I like. Uh, More now than I'm sharing with other author and like live stream like this and other things.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
I think it's positive. It's a positive influence.
it's such a positive influence,
Yeah,
especially the fact that I feel like so many people hold themselves back
yeah,
from creating or publishing and whatnot. And I'm like, if you can look at my little derpy comic and see that I entered, maybe that gives you a little hope to enter your amazing series that could be a potential winner. So I fully believe in the whole concept of you miss all the shots you don't take. So
yeah. Also, you say that, but I want to know what happened to Chelsea. I hope my girl is alright.
you'll never know.
I will. You have to tell me.
Okay, I'll tell you off stream.
Yeah. Okay.
And so Haru, what about you?
Yes. So my also is kind of like a message that is so like it applies to my story, but also to me just entering in general. which is like you don't need to be the princess everyone expects you to be.
Yeah.
There will always be one knight who loves you the way you are. And
Mm,
that is about my story, but it's also about, the big picture, that my entry is not in the typical webtoon style, and yet the webtoons audience, there are people engaging positively with it. So if anyone is like self-conscious, like, oh, I'm not a webtoon artist, I don't do, like, I'm not a webtoon artist, and yet I did it.
mhm,
So
mhm.
you
Mhm.
guys, everyone needs to go for it, even if it's different, and even if you're like insecure about it. And my webtoons career, I don't know, man. I don't have one. Let's see where it goes.
Let's make it happen. I'm manifesting
Yeah.
this for everybody. Like, let's make it happen. It doesn't have to happen with webtoons.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we'll see. We'll see. I'm looking at you, Monta. So my last question for you guys is, do you guys just have any advice for the people out there? Like, it can be related to anything. It can be contest related, it can be related to like personal, whatever you want to say. Just advice in general. Lucian, why don't you start?
I say that like a lot of times, but take the risk. Show your idea to the world and feel proud that you did.
Mm,
Once you have the product, you will feel satisfied with it. Might not be the biggest hit, but that's also good because you're getting better from there. So if you make something or you don't make it perfect, that's good because you have a space for improvement, and you will improve as long as you keep drawing. And watch polo videos too. It's all documented here in case you need to participate in some tournament or have any idea about how the Webtoon marketing works and everything. It's all covered. But yeah, I think that it's basically, if you love art, you love drawing, you love telling stories, you can just prepare something you will feel proud of at the end of the day, and just publish it. Have it in the world, a place where you can come back to read it again if you want, and maybe the first step for many other comics that will be even better than the last one you made. And you need just to get over that anxiety of exposure that people normally have. I had it too back in 2017 when I first started drawing online, posting on social media, Facebook back in the day. But yeah, once you make that step, you keep doing it, and it's like a cycle. You keep going forward and getting better at it. So don't worry too much. Just go and try to publish something and have the world see it.
yes, yes. Take the risk. Take the risk.
Yeah, take the risk.
So, what about you, Haru?
um just because you're scared of publishing your story, it doesn't mean you shouldn't do it anyway, even if you're scared. Like, you can draw your story even while you're scared, and you can be super nervous, and but still draw it. Do it. You don't need to not be scared to put it out there. So do it anyway.
And TJ?
Yeah, I mean, I totally get the whole anxiety thing around, putting your work out there for everybody to see. But I've actually found that like the Canvas community is incredibly supportive of like everybody. So, if you
Yeah.
specifically want to get into like Webtoon, I mean, it's a great community. I mean, like everybody just supports each other, and that's basically all that they do. So, yeah, I don't think you have anything to worry about in regards to that.
Yeah, yeah. So that was all super amazing advice. I think my one piece of advice that I would offer to anybody is, um, hmm, I want to say just do it, but I feel like that's
Yeah.
so generic. So I want to say, be kind to yourself. So I'll go with that. Like, there's always instances of you can do better, but I mean, You got to start somewhere. So
Yeah.
remember, in 10 years from now, your series that you're making will not look like, hopefully, the series that you made 10 years.
Yeah, hopefully. Let's see about that. Let's see about
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. Let's see. Let's see. So that is actually going to conclude our discussion on the roundtable episode about the contest. I hope you really enjoyed it. We ran overtime a little bit, so
Yeah.
we'll do maybe like 10 minutes of questions if anyone has anything that they were burning to ask. So please go ahead and type that. But just understand that the stream is long, so be kind to us, and of course you can leave comments down below if you have questions for anybody in particular, and I'm sure somebody will get back to you. So while we're waiting for them to type
Mm.
their question out, normally I look up a psychology question, but today I am not going to torture you all, and I want to ask you, what is your favorite dessert? That will be my question to you. This will
No.
also determine how I interact with you going forward in the future. So there are wrong answers.
Deeply psychological.
Yeah, somehow. uh, okay.
Oh, wow.
I don't actually take desserts. But if I have to pick one, I love cheesecake, especially the ones that my girlfriend made. She has a special recipe that uses like, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but she uses white chocolate. So it's only on my birthday. So or another friend's birthday. No, it's not my birthday today, but she did it on my birthday and birthday from friends, and it's amazing. I want her to have more friends so I can eat that cheesecake more regularly.
Oh my good grief! I almost asked you to leave the
No,
call
no.
when you were talking about dessert,
Oh no.
which you recovered when you said cheesecake. I was like, oh, okay, all right.
Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna have to message her to get that recipe. Okay,
Um,
Haru, don't disappoint. I'm staring at the screen
Uh
really hard.
I like a chocolate cake,
oh,
muffin, cookie related stuff. I like dough. I like dough and chocolate and then like vanilla and those things.
I'm not a chocolate lover, but
mm,
I
Oh
do like
no.
dough. I do like dough, so I can't fault you for liking what most people like.
Thank you.
All right. As
and
long
what
as
about
it's
you, Apollo? What's your
uh,
favorite dessert?
okay, so it really depends, but I love a good milkshake. Like, there's just
Oh
something
yeah.
about like a really well crafted milkshake, and I know people are like they're all the same. They are not. Like,
No.
there are clear differences, and like the whipped cream matters, the toppings matter, the bottom matters. Like, so much of it matters. Like, okay, okay, milkshake, 100%. All right, TJ,
TJ.
don't disappoint.
Well, my answer was gonna be cheesecake, but
Oh wow.
Yo! Cheesecake gang! Hell yeah.
Your answer can be cheesecake, plain cheesecake, or a flavor.
I mean, I like plain cheesecake, but like maybe like something that incorporates a berry. Like I'm all for
Oh yeah.
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That, that that poor cheesecake. So we got some questions. Andy asks,
Okay.
"What do you do to relax away from your comics/art making?"
I play video games.
Mm,
Video games,
Me too.
TTRPG. I know that it's kind of masochist, but I love FromSoft games, and I have to say it. I love all Dark Souls, Bloodborne. So yeah, I like to suffer while relaxing, like a little masochist gaming over there.
Suffer while relaxing. That's funny.
Yeah, and some TTRPG. People play D&D. Go ahead. It's very fun.
Yeah, I do the RPG thing as well.
Yeah.
And I love watching stuff, I love, movies. So I like that. Not just casual Netflix watching. I like, picking a good movie and having a moment. That's um and yeah, there hasn't been that much relaxing lately, but I guess drawing other stuff.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, TJ? Anything? Or you said games, didn't you?
Yeah, playing video games. Yeah, yeah.
I will.
Specifically Pokemon. If you
Pokemon, yeah.
Are you going? Are they coming out with a new one for the new Switch?
They are. Yeah, it comes out in October.
That would be expensive.
I hope it's not a cash grab. Like, let me know, TJ, if it's worth me buying.
Well, it's like $70.
What?
What?
Why?
Yeah, yeah.
That's not very
Well,
Nintendo
because
of
like the
them.
Switch 2 games are just more expensive now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Mario Kart World, the new Mario Kart, is $80.
$80, yeah.
Oh my god.
But it looks awesome. I also knew that From Software made an original game for Nintendo, and I was like, why? Why should I buy one now? Probably it's very expensive, but yeah, they have a new Blood Dusk Blood, something like that. And I was like, oh my god, don't do this to me.
Oh my god, the slander in the chat. People are saying milkshakes are not a dessert. They're like, it's a drink.
Oh no!
Leave the chat, please.
Your thoughts?
Mitamu said, "What is the message you hope the readers will walk away with from each of your stories?" I think they also commented, oh, they said above, "I'm a reader and I learned a lot about your series through this contest. Sincerely, thank you for creating all of your stories. I love reading so many of your works."
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm glad, and that's why you do these kind of things. I think that people can read a different kind of story or something that they like, and go ahead and probably inspire other people to do the same. Since, like, how to say it, we are not from the Webtoon community. We didn't made another Webtoon before, and we say like, okay, we go for it, and it turned out well, I think.
I agree.
So thank you very much.
Yeah. It's I did not know there was readers in the chat, so that was something new for me. What do you put in the background while working on your webtoon that keeps you focused?
So for me, it's funny. When I get bored of drawing, which happens sometimes, I need to put on something that doesn't keep me focused on the work. So I just keep doing it without being bored. So I just like, podcasts and art stuff usually, sometimes art business YouTubers, and yeah, just really long videos about an interesting topic so that my brain is thinking about that while I'm drawing.
That sounds good. That sounds good. I like to put on really aggressive music.
Yo.
like trap music, basically.
So glad to hear that, because like I hate lo-fi.
Oh
And I'm
yes.
like, I can't believe people actually listen to it.
Lo-fi
So
stresses me out because
yeah,
like
honestly.
low-key, I'm like, what's happening? Like it makes me feel uncomfortable sometimes. I'm like, what is happening? I don't understand. I feel like I'm being attacked. It's too nice.
Yeah, honestly. Yeah, I also like really high energy music when I'm listening to music. So
Oh, do you have playlists?
I mean they're not public.
Oh,
Oh,
you
but yeah, I do. Apollo still there?
No, no.
Oh no.
Now
Well,
it's
what do you
turn.
guys listen
Okay,
to?
yeah.
Yeah.
TJ, what do you listen?
I do listen to podcasts too sometimes, or just
Oh,
music. I have a vinyl player, so I have a bunch of vinyls that I just throw on all the time.
yeah.
Oh, are
I cannot listen to any podcast if I'm drawing because I got distracted. Um, so I normally put some like high energy but instrumental music in the background that match the vibes of the thing I'm drawing, and then when the music stops playing, I just hear absolute silence for a hour or two, and I realize that music is not longer in the background, and that's how I know that I was focusing on the work. And it's like, man, I forgot to put the music on again.
that's funny.
It's happened a lot to me. So normally, like I hear one song, and then that's it. I forgot to put another a playlist.
Well, since Apollo is gone until we hear from him, let's just continue. I'm
Yeah,
gonna read a question from the chat if you guys don't mind.
go ahead. We're taking over.
Okay.
Yeah, it's our
Yeah, we
stream
take
now.
over. It's now a stream now.
I mean, if one of you guys could message him. But
Yeah,
in the meantime, um, well, how many of you will continue your webtoons regardless of the contest results?
I will.
Yeah,
I'm
same.
actually rebooteando.
Yeah.
So I probably will keep doing it with a different approach, but yeah, I will. I will still do it and see how it goes. You say, Harold, that you will actually finish the Princess Snake.
Yes, my story is very short, so it will be finished soon, very soon.
Very sooner than later.
Yeah. What about you, TJ?
Yeah, I mean, for the for Codename Colors, I think I might just take like a little break from it for a while I focus on the new
Mm,
comic, but it will always be in the back of my mind.
cool. Um, okay. What's everyone's favorite part of the webtoon creation process?
For me, it's like when
Honestly,
you
like
finish. Oh, go ahead.
no, that's literally what I was gonna say is when you finished it, and
Yeah.
then like I like seeing all of my hard work like completed. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's my favorite part.
I also like when you're doing like the stickmans and positions and say how this will become something else, right? And when you see your final work, you say like how does that happen? Okay.
Yeah. Apollo? Welcome
Apollo,
back.
welcome back. And
Yes,
what's
I
your
returned.
what's your favorite part on?
Yeah.
What was the question?
I
Oh,
don't know what was the question.
absolute Lotus say I really like the writing process. Yeah, I love the writing process, but you get stuck. I mean, I could write for a month, and I need to draw. So
Yeah.
I better not.
Yeah, we were talking about our favorite part of the webtoon creation process. But you can take
Mm.
over again, so welcome back.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's completely fine. My favorite part of the webtoon creation process is designing the outfits. That's my favorite
Oh,
part.
Oh, nice.
Oh, so
well,
fun.
it shows like you draw I remember seeing your entry. One thing I love to do too, when I'm not drawing my things, are shoes. I like sneakers and
Oh
doing that.
yes.
And when I saw your entry, it's like, wow, that's really good. That's really good wheels.
I feel like if you don't have good shoes on, then your outfit's not complete. Like
Yeah,
you can't do a generic shoe.
exactly. I like shoes.
So, what we are same brain on so many things. Like
Yeah, yeah,
we're
yeah.
basically clones of each other at this point.
We should, yeah, we should have a streaming talking or some. We should talk a little bit more. Maybe
Oh,
we
most
can share.
definitely.
We can share an item probably.
Most definitely, most definitely.
Yeah,
So, because of my technical difficulties, I don't want to fly too close to the sun. So
yeah.
Yeah.
let's go ahead and wrap the stream up. And if you're watching this, especially if you're watching in the future, I would love to hear your experience with the Webtoon contest. Please comment down below. Let us know. Like I want to hear the good, the bad, the ugly, all of the things. I want the details. And so, why don't we just have you guys do some quick outros? Let us know where to find you, shout out your series, shout out your socials, and just go from there. So, Haru, will you start us off?
Yeah. Everyone who like asked the question and wants to like more have more answers, you can message me on Instagram always. I am also trying a little bit of YouTube stuff. My username is the same everywhere. Yeah. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope this was fun and useful. And yeah.
Yes, please read The Princess's Night. Check it out. Links in the
Yes.
description below.
Yes. Thank you.
No problem. Lucian?
Yeah, go read Magic Codex and follow me on Instagram, Lucian is drawing, to have updates when I review the comic premise, as you say it there. And I hope everything that we yap today will be helpful for everyone. And thank you for having me here. It was a pleasure to meet you, TJ, Haru, and to be in one of your stream pods that I always watch, but I never imagined myself being here. So thank you. And thank you, Chad, for coming in. Then.
Oh, well, thank you for agreeing, first of all. And I did have a question for you. Do you have two cats? Like,
Yeah,
every time I look at this image, I'm like, do you have cats? That's so cute.
yeah.
I
I
really like
have
Calico myself.
I have a calico called Mooncake, Monkey. We call it Monkey. And the other one is Nosferatu Sod. Did you read Berserk? is
Oh, I love
that
it.
is that black giant cat monster from Berserk? And he is indeed a monster. Yeah, I have two cats in Buenos Aires, my city. I have another one that is a orange cat called Toshiro, and he's a little bit more old, but he's living with my mom now.
Oh,
Cute.
well, that is awesome. Thank you for sharing those details with us. And please send me cat pics later
Yeah,
once
yeah,
you
I will. Thank you for
All
having
right,
me.
Pokemon Master. Go ahead and shout out yourself.
Well, thank you for having me. I also watch your streams all the time. So I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be one. But yeah, I mainly use Instagram and TikTok now, and it's the same handle. So yeah, you can find me there.
Yes, yes. We need to collab when your BL comes out. We'll have a launch party for you.
Okay. Oh,
I can't wait. I can't wait.
that sounds fun.
Oh, that'll be super fun. Super fun. All right. Well, thank you all for joining the round table. I really appreciate it. And I will catch you and our guests from chat in the next video. Have a good one, guys.
Bye.
Goodbye, bye bye.
Bye.
the gay.